The Real Monica Adams Show is brought to you by Exist Stretch. Stop by for your free consultation and 30-minute introductory stretch today.
And have you? Yesterday we had Trisha Rhodes on the show from Exist Stretch, and we have been talking about how all of you will benefit. And yesterday was all about our first responders. You know, I'm the proud wife of a St. Louis County police lieutenant, and we got him in to get Stretch. And he said, after he got done, that it was completely life-changing. And yeah, you think about all the things that we do in a day. I went in, I was in a car accident a handful of years ago, feeling so much better from just being on that table a few times. So we love Exist Stretch. They are a title sponsor, and we're so thrilled to have them along with us. If you haven't been in yet, you've got a couple of locations that I'd love for you to get into. One's in Arnold, or the other in the St. Louis Hills area, again on Hampton. So yeah, if you don't believe me, this was Jim. That your body remembers. I'm so happy you got in. Aren't you happy you got in?
It's definitely remembering that sciatic.
Aren't you thrilled you got in?
This is actually working out.
Can you tell your brothers and sisters and first responders how important it is?
I don't think. Oh my gosh. There you go. That's
Actually, today is all about humor, and I know Jim was playing around, but he was like, seriously, holy cow. He had back issues and sciatic issues. He was only on the table one time, folks. So again, Exist Stretch, if you haven't been in yet, 2 locations, and here they are on the screen. Exist Stretch in St. Louis Hills on Hampton, 5605 Hampton, or 3823 Vogel Road in Arnold, existstretch.com, or check them out online at Exist Stretch. Welcome aboard, folks. If you're brand new to the show, let me introduce myself. I'm your host, Monica Adams. The Real Monica Adams Show has been on for 3.5 years now. We have over 800 shows on multiple platforms. So right now, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and Instagram. Welcome to each and every one of you that get a chance to watch this live, or maybe you have to check in and then go to work and then you come back to it. You're going to want to come back to this one. This is a first. Now, we've interviewed a lot of comedians in my TV and radio career, but I have not had a comedian on our show, and we're going to do that for you today. In fact, you'll get an opportunity to see him on June 22nd. He's coming to the Funny Bone right here in St. Louis, but he's touring the country, and we get a chance to visit with him today. So you don't want to go anywhere. That's all coming up this morning after we do our news you can use, and I do want you to know about this. Just like yesterday, we were talking about the oppressive heat. And by the way, have you heeded our warnings? Have you gotten in your exercise or got out early? That's why I came out this morning enjoying, actually it's a little nice breeze. Can you hear the birds? They're incredible. And this is what I love about those early morning hours. But then 95, folks. We have night storms that are possible as well that could be moving in. The heat index, by the way, today up to 104, but look for those evening and overnight strong to severe storms. So you have been warned about this. The kiddos and the animals all might be a little afraid tonight. It's going to be cooler though as we get into early next week. So 84, beautiful day on Friday. Saturday, a 40% chance of rain, high of 84. Sunday, a 50% chance of morning storms and a high of 78. And then we get into next week. Look at that, 77 on Monday. By the way, I've been talking about the Muni opening up Tuesday night. It's going to be gorgeous. The Cardinals are also back in town. 62 at Busch Stadium or at the Muni Opera. You can't beat that. Wednesday looks great as well. Mostly sunny and 83. And then we get into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of next week. We're looking at upper 80s. By the way, next Friday is Juneteenth Day. So a lot of great things coming up. It's going to be windy today, by the way, as well. All right, as you're heading to the gas pump, I want you to be aware of something in the news you can use, a tampering scam that's popping up at some gas pumps. So what should we be looking for? Okay, gas prices, as we know, going up. You're concerned about that already. But police are warning you about a new scam that could cost you even more at the pump. It's gas pump screw scams. And this is a police department in Virginia that's warning you about this. Evidently, scammers can use something as simple as a screw hidden inside the nozzle cradle to keep the pump running after a transaction. Then the scammer will be able to fill up their own tanks and their gas cans while the pump is still running on your dime. Yeah, not good at all. So police are saying consumers should be a little more selective about what cards you use. Credit cards, better choice when you're at a gas pump. Debit cards, typically, if you have a fraudulent charge on there, you can get your money back, but that money comes out immediately, so that gets frustrating for you as well. So just a warning of some things that are out there, and I know we always talk about this. Why do people have to be such jerks? But it's a reality. So again, scamming taking place at the pump. That's definitely the top story that we felt we needed to tell you. And then what about this one? This thing, yesterday we were showing you some crazy looking insect, and now today it's an invasive hammerhead worm that was spotted at a St. Louis County park. Parks and Recreation Department said it received a report of this invasive hammerhead worm slithering around Cliff Cave Park. Hammerhead worms are native to Asia and can damage local ecosystems by preying on native earthworms that are necessary for healthy soil. Each piece can become a new worm if cut up. And they release the toxins that can irritate your skin. Park officials say they are typically found after heavy rain and underneath logs and rocks and leaf filter. Of course, we got a lot of that. They are advising you to safely euthanize the worms by first wearing gloves if you see this. Place them in a plastic bag. Add vinegar, rubbing alcohol, salt, or soapy water to the bag and throw it in the trash can. They're advising people not to pick up the worms with bare hands and do not cut them up. First of all, I'm just going to come back on screen here for a second. Who cuts up worms? I'm sorry, I've lived all my life and I've never cut up a worm. Now I know young kids might be playing around with them, but yeah, I guess keep your kids away from it. And for you, do not cut up a worm. All right, Honda, another recall for you. If you're a Honda driver, you might have your vehicle in this recall. Over 880,000 of these vehicles are being recalled because of concern this morning from American Honda Motor Company. This is because the rear suspension components may fail. That could cause you to lose control, increasing the chance, of course, of a crash or injury. Now, Missouri is in this recall, and so is Illinois. So we're talking about Honda Pilots, Ridgelines, Passport, Acura MDX vehicles. Remember, you should always get a notification, and you will. They will be out to you, mailed by July 7th. So I'm going to drop a comment into the comment section for you right now, and you'll be able to know if your vehicle is involved in that recall. I'm going to give you some, I'm a personal trainer, a lot of you know that, and a life coach, and so I'm always trying to help in any way we can. We get tips from dietitians sometimes. So there's heart-healthy grocery shopping tips that we have today to help improve cardiovascular health. So to satisfy a sweet tooth, Mother Nature's candy, right? How about choosing walnut or almond butters, figs and dates instead of all the gummy candies and things like that? Triglycerides, you see those on your blood panel. The added sugar is what messes with cholesterol and triglycerides. So that's fat in your blood, which can rise due to too much sugar. The main choices from dietitians, 3 grams of fiber or more per serving. So again, almond butters, walnut, figs, dates, those are sweet alternatives for you. And then condiments and sauces really raise the high levels of sodium. So look for options that have around 120 milligrams of sodium per serving. A lot of people have always asked, well, what should I be eating? There you go, straight from a dietitian. Use salsa. I was taught this so many years ago. Use salsa in salads instead of all of the heavy calorie-laden dressings that are out there. So to add a little spice, add more vegetables or tahini, as you're seeing here, as a replacement for a condiment in a grain bowl. Why is it great? Because there's no sodium. It's good. Healthy fat from sesame seeds. So just a couple of ideas. And then remember to always read labels. Ingredients are listed by what there's the most of in a product. So when you eat carbs, something that's ultra processed or things like that, you're going to want it quicker because it's going to be a big spike. It'll drop down and you're wanting to crave it more. So if you've ever wondered, why in the world do I keep going for the snacks? Why do I keep going for the sugars? There's your reason. But hey, we've got a great dietitian that I'd love for you to work with, a nutrition therapy practitioner, and that is Jenny Gabriel. She is going to be back with us on the show this coming Monday, so she can give you some tips as well. All right, soccer fans, right here. You ready for the World Cup? Soccer terminology Bunshi. This is for you, like if you're going to watch any of these games and you're like, hey, I have no idea what those announcers are talking about. From handballs to hat tricks, here's what you need to know before watching the World Cup. Handball, what is it? You touch the ball with your hands. Pretty simple, right? It's in the name. Yellow card, that's soccer's version of a warning. Depending on how bad a handball is, the ref may reach for one of those. Red card, you get one of those, you're gone, folks. If you played the game, you understand, but if you want to go with your friends, because everybody's all hyped up about the World Cup, and I don't want you to be left out. A header, what do you think? It's when the players use their heads to pass, clear, or score. Hat trick, do you know that? It's when the player scores 3 goals in a match, kind of like a baseball player hitting 3 home runs in a game. Bicycle kick, one of my favorite things. Now, I was a goalie, and I tell you what, when someone was that talented, when a player throws their entire body in the air upside down just to kick a ball, and better yet, they score on that, it's amazing. Now, when a player kicks a ball through another player's legs, soccer fans lose their minds over it. It's an in-your-face kind of move, like someone just got crossover dribbled in basketball. It's less about advancing the ball and more about letting everyone know, I'm better than you. I went right through the legs. It's called nutmeg or megging. I'm just giving you some tips. It's going to be fun for you as you get a chance to watch the World Cup. And by the way, it does kick off today. Mexico playing South Africa. What are you most excited about? For me, of course, it's USA against Paraguay. That's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. There is another game tonight, by the way. South Korea playing Czech. That's going to be at 9 p.m. But you tell me, will you watch? I'd love to know if you know anyone that got tickets to go to any of this. These tickets are pretty pricey, and then people were kind of up in arms about that. Will you host at your house? Will you have people come over and watch the World Cup? I'm super stoked about it because, again, I played my whole life, so I cannot wait for this to kick off. How about this? Yesterday we told you about the Cardinals shutting out the Mets. Now another big score for them. The Cardinals beating the Mets yet again, 9-2. They handed it to them. It's the Cards back in action. They are playing at 12:10 this afternoon, and then it's the Cards and the Twins tomorrow at 7:10, again on the road right now. Wrapping things up in our news you can use with what's happening for today. National Making Life Beautiful Day. It is Corn on the Cob Day, so get ready to get it in your teeth. National German Chocolate Cake Day, and National Career Nurse Assistant Day. You know, we always talk about thanking our nurses, but I'm so glad that came up because we all have a team to do the passion that we want to do every day. Doctors, nurses, we love you, but how about those assistants? Today, it is your day. All right, folks, as you are tuning in, feel free to let us know, where are you watching from? Are you new to the show? What are you doing today? Are you taking care of yourself? Take care of the elderly. Take care of your doggies. Make sure anybody with any health conditions. This is the last day of the crazy high heat indices. Why I came out this morning to enjoy this, and you can bet I'm going to be in that. By the way, we opened that 3 weeks ago. Today's the first day I'm finally going to get in because we got it clear. Thank you to Just Pools. They cleared the whole pool. We had some algae in there that's finally gone. All right, Richard said it's a good day to have a great day. Amen, sir. I don't understand the time on the clock. I know it seems silly. I don't get that. Good morning. Hot, 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 Bab says. Linda, if you're a fisherman, you might use real worm, and a long worm would be broken in half. Okay, that's good to know. I just would not be cutting up the worms. Good morning, Julie, Sean, Linda. I love the fact that you're up and doing your exercise and watching the show. Rose, I hate German chocolate cake. I'm amazed since it has sugar in it. Do you like chocolate, though? If you don't like chocolate, I can understand that. Okay, folks, we're going to take a break. So when we come back, it's a first in 3.5 years. We have not, can you imagine that? I'm surprised by this. We have not had a comedian on the show. That is a problem, but we are going to rectify that today. And I want to thank a dear friend of mine that I went to grade school with. He needs to get on the show, by the way. Really interesting fella. Jody Sufco, thank you for introducing us to Katsura Sunshine. I mean, come on. There's sunshine right now. He has sunshine in his name. He's coming to town to be there for you on June 22nd, and that will be at the Funny Bone. I know a lot of you used to love to go to the Funny Bone. If you haven't been in a while, I'm going to bring you back to the table. In fact, he's going to bring you back. We're going to find out how he got so popular, but he's from Canada. Oh, how does that all happen? We're going to find out. Katsura Sunshine, my guest, when we return.
What if you could start your day feeling loose, relaxed, and ready? Deep hydrotherapy right in your backyard. No commute, no appointments, just warmth, relief whenever you need it. Sore muscles recover faster, tight joints loosen up, tension you carry all day, gone. Relax with your family or friends, or work out with our Michael Phelps Edition Swim Spas. Worried about maintenance? We have factory-trained service nearby whenever you need it. Plus, we're here for you long term if you have any questions or need to refill supplies. You can even test spas at our showrooms. Spas and More, A+ rated, locally owned for 20 years. We put the ah in spa.
And they sure do. And you get an opportunity, by the way, to go to the big blowout sale that they have. And I'll tell you more about that throughout the show this weekend. If you've been looking at hot tubs or wanting to pull the trigger, then this is the weekend to do so because it's a huge blowout sale. All right, folks, are you ready to laugh? Are you ready for a first ever on our show? Let me bring my guest on this morning. Good morning, Katsura Sunshine. How are you?
Good morning.
So how do you and Jody know each other, first of all?
We have only met online, to be honest. We just met over Zoom, but because I have a show coming to your neighborhood and his neighborhood, and it's a Japanese style show, we got hooked up.
Huh, I love that. Yes, I don't remember how many years, but he lived in Japan for a long, long time. And so he's like, Monica, you've got to get him on. Have you been to St. Louis, by the way?
I have to be honest. I have been to. I've never been to St. Louis.
Oh, you're in for a treat. Are you only here for a night?
And I am only here for a night.
Oh,
Yeah.
we got to get
It's
him
a
the best
very
food.
intense
Everybody,
tour.
welcome him to St. Louis, even if it's briefly. Tell him what he has to do besides obviously performing for all of you at the Funny Bone. I hope you can get a chance to see our beautiful arch. I wish you could go to the zoo. The zoo is free, but it's probably the best zoo in the United States.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, it's free, and it's like I remember going to San Diego, and I was standing in line getting tickets, and someone's like, "You're from St. Louis. You have the best zoo, and it's free. Why are you buying?" I'm like, "Well,
That's amazing.
I wanted to see the panda."
Yeah, I mean, I've been told for years that I belong in a zoo, so then I have to make it out there.
That's not nice. Well, welcome soon to town. You're coming June 22nd. You kicked off your tour. Where did you start?
We actually just started the summer leg of the tour last night, and I am coming to you from Philadelphia. Seeing
Yes.
Brotherly Love right now.
Well, thank you. How did everything go last night?
Oh, it was amazing. It was also a beautiful stand-up comedy club next in line, and every seat was sold. It was packed.
Yay.
The audience was amazing. Yeah, so much fun.
Oh, fantastic. And by the way, as we mentioned, there is a tour that's coming up. But so this is the stories from Japan. How do you pronounce it? Is it Rakugo?
Yeah, emphasis on the first syllable. Rakugo is usually the way I say
Rakugo.
it.
Rakugo. And by the way, you can go online, rakugo.lol. So tell us about this. It's a show of hilarity, obviously, and culture.
It is. Briefly put, Rakugo is a 400-year tradition of storytelling in Japan. And the stories have been passed down from master to apprentice, through the ages up until the present day. And the first part of a set is a little bit like stand-up comedy. It's the storyteller's own material and observational humor and also some cultural explanations to help you understand the story that's coming. And then the story itself, as you can see from the pictures, kneeling on a cushion, wearing a kimono, and you basically turn your head to the left and play one character, turn your head to the right and play another character, and the whole story is told through conversation. There's almost no narrator, almost no once upon a time. It's just conversations of kind of goofy neighborhood stories from hundreds of years ago in Japan.
Wait, what's this one?
That's called a Dharma doll, and it's a head. You color in one eye when you have an ambition or a dream or a goal, and then you leave it there in your home or someplace to remind you of your goal. And when you achieve that goal, you color in the other eye, basically. So as you can see, I have not achieved much yet.
By the way, Rose just said, and I agree, welcome to St. Louis, get some raviolis and gooey butter cake, and go get stretched at Exist. I know, I'd love to get them on the table at Exist. I absolutely. So the arch, definitely, but they're talking about food-wise. We are known for toasted ravioli and gooey butter cake. So come hungry, by the way, yes. So how did you get into this? I just mentioned you're from Canada.
I'm from Toronto, Canada, and about 28 years ago, I've always been in theater, playwright and producer and composer, composing musicals. And I went to Japan to study some Japanese theater, almost on a whim, basically. Uh, 28 years ago, thinking I would stay for a couple months. And it's a typical story. I thought I'd stay for a couple months, and I've stayed ever since. And then about my fifth year in Japan, my favorite kind of barbecue chicken restaurant, it's called Yakitori, is the barbecue chicken style. I used to go to this restaurant every day, and the owner of the restaurant was a fanatic about this storytelling art form. And he said, "Oh, if you like Japanese culture, you'll love it." And he took me to a show, and it was love at first sight. As soon as I saw this, I thought, this is what I was born to do. And in order to become a storyteller, you have to do a very strict apprenticeship under a master. I went to my master's house every day for 3 years, not one day off, did the laundry, cleaning, menial chores, folded kimonos. My master got angry with me every day. That's my master, very, very famous Japanese storyteller and television personality, Katsura Bunshi. And that was it. It's like a real life wax on, wax off. It's like that Hollywood movie is extremely accurate in some ways.
Really? Karate Kid.
Karate Kid, yeah.
So that was your master. Tell me what's happening here. Were you getting an award?
The Canadian Embassy was making me a kind of Canada-Japan cultural ambassador. This is right after my apprenticeship had finished. And my master came for the ceremony very generously, and we accepted it together, yeah.
I love that. Once again, folks, as you can see, we are visiting with Katsura Sunshine. And yeah, as we mentioned, from Canada, but I love this. So what was your very first reaction when you saw this type of comedy performed?
It was unreal because you have the shamisen and taiko music, the Japanese instruments that are the opening music for the storyteller to come on, kneels on a cushion in a kimono, starts telling just jokes. Oh, this is like just regular comedy. It's very, very accessible if you know Japanese, but I mean, if you translated it straight, it'd be very accessible. And then suddenly he starts having conversations with himself, with playing these characters, and here's a story that has its roots in the time of Shakespeare, basically. So it was, and then every story ends in a punchline, like it's a kind of long, drawn-out joke. And it just hit me immediately. Like, this is just everything. Because when I was doing writing plays and musicals, I had actually been focused on ancient Greek comedies. And like 2,500-year-old ancient Greek comedy and 400- and 500-year-old Japanese kind of no and kabuki theater have all these similarities. That's what a scholar had written. That's what brought me to Japan in the first place. So when I saw this comic art form that was basically people were killing themselves laughing in the audience, the first time I went, I understood about 1/8 of what everyone.
That's what I was
the
going
guy
to get
saying.
into. I was like, are people thinking? Because I want you all to get to the Funny Bone when he's there on June 22nd. But that's the biggest question I would have: is are people going to say, I don't understand the culture, I don't understand some of the things, but who cares? My favorite thing is to get in a room where you don't know a lot, and then you walk out of there going, oh my gosh, I've learned so much, and I've been introduced to so many different people of so many different cultures.
Yeah, to your point, there's a lot you can learn from the show, but the learning curve is zero. These stories are just naturally so universal. And it's wild because these are 200, 300, 400-year-old stories, and yet what I'm performing in the stand-up comedy clubs in America is a straight translation of the Japanese. I'm not screwing around with the stories at all. They work as they are, which is kind of a miracle for a comic art form if you think about it.
Absolutely. Well, so do you have siblings, by the way?
I have a younger brother.
So tell me about the reaction when, first of all, you go and travel and think, I'm just going to get, a little bit of an introduction. No, I'm going to go full-blown into this. Now, this is my art form and this is my career. Did they think you were nuts? Did they love it? Did they embrace it?
Well, I think when I first told my parents, they didn't quite know
what is it?
how heavy this was going to be. I called them and I said, I'm going to be a Rakugo storyteller. And they said, oh, good luck, dear. Our son is that kind of guy. They didn't know it was going to be indentured servitude for 3 years. I wasn't going to see them for 3 years. But no, you know what? I have to tell you, it was destiny because
I love that.
Usually when the master takes you, the master will have an interview with your parents and just say, this is what the apprenticeship entails. You receive a name from the master. You become part of the family and part of the hundreds of year old lineage. So my name is Katsura Sunshine. My master's name is Katsura. His name before him was Katsura. That's the family name. So it's a big event. It's a big life event. So the master always introduces himself to the parents and says, please just feel, what would you say? Just you can trust me and I'm going to take care of your child. Basically, kind of an adoption. Now, my parents were thousands of miles away in Toronto, so he couldn't actually do that. By some coincidence of destiny, my master had a show in Toronto.
Oh, that's
Months
a God
into
wink.
my apprenticeship. And so my parents came and they watched the show, and I was the opening act. And I was in English for 10 minutes, and then the rest of my older brother storytellers and everyone, my master, was all in Japanese, but my parents and my brother sat in the front row, sat through the whole show. My master was so impressed. He just said, your parents could have left after you did your 10 minutes. They could have come to the after party. They sat there not understanding a word till the end of the show for 2 hours. I am so impressed. My brother said, I don't know what your master was saying, but I have never seen a comedian like kill an audience the way he did. Like the whole audience was in tears. He's like, whatever he said, that guy must be the funniest person in the world. And my mother said, because my master is has been a television star as well in Japan for over 50 years. My mother after the show said, you should have told me that your master was so handsome. I would have prepared a little bit more. So it was a really wonderful kind of experience that I was supposed to have had in Japan had I been Japanese. Couldn't, but we had it in Toronto.
Absolutely. Again, folks, if you have any comments, by the way, or any questions as we go live throughout the show, feel free to drop them in. If you are free on June 22nd, I want you to get to the Funny Bone. For many of you, you probably haven't been in a while. We used to go, when I was growing up, we were at the Funny Bone nonstop. And then, it took people over the years to say, oh, I'm going to the Funny Bone. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the Funny Bone's still open? They're like, yeah, Monica. In fact, a lot of you used to go to Westport. My brother and sister-in-law just went about, a couple of months ago in St. Charles County, which I loved. And I was like, okay, I absolutely love this. Stephanie said, welcome to St. Louis. I have friends in Winnipeg, Canada. I'm going to ask them if they know you. They will know him. By the way, what's your best platform? Is it Instagram, Facebook, TikTok? Where should we be following you?
Instagram and TikTok are probably the ones that I get the most views on these days. And I have a lot of 1 minute and 2 minute clips of the show on Reels and on TikTok. So if you'd like to check that out, for sure.
Well, we've got some for you folks, because you might be going, okay, I really like his energy. I want to come see him. And you might want to know, what is the show about? We're going to play a clip for you. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We've got some fun questions lined up for Katsura Sunshine. So don't go anywhere.
Because if you compliment a Japanese person, if they're being polite, Japanese culture, they should deny the compliment. No. And then you should deny the denial and reiterate the compliment in different words. And then they should deny the next compliment. Difficult to know where to end the conversation. So I said, Ambassador, you speak very good English. No, Sunshine Son, my English is still a little bit. No. Ambassador, your English is amazing. No, please do not say amazing. You're putting the hurdle too high, Sunshine. No. Your Excellency, your English might be better than mine. No. Don't say that. But Sunshine Son, everyone in New Delhi today, people coming to the theater, 400 people came today. They are all looking so much forward to your great Rakugo performance. No. No. If we couldn't get you to perform Rakugo, who would we get today? No. Don't put the hurdle too high for me, Ambassador. No. We should not call you Sunshine Son. We should call you Master Sunshine. No. Too long. If we did this the American way, Canadian way, any other country besides Japan, I'd say, Ambassador, you speak very good English. Thank you. Finished.
Hi, it's Monica Adams. Thank you so much for following along with The Real Monica Adams Show. But I wanted to let you know there's so much more that I could do with you, your business, your corporation. Did you know that I'm a motivational speaker all around the world, as well as an MC and an auctioneer? So if you have an event, maybe a nonprofit organization, and you want to book me, just shoot me an email, info@therealmonicaadams.com.
Welcome back. We want to thank each and every one of our incredible sponsors and each and every one of you that watch the show live or you watch it on replay. Remember to support those that support us. Garden View Care Center, we're going to be visiting with them about the amazing activities that they do with their seniors. I just went and listened to some jazz music, and I can't wait to hear all about that. O'Fallon, Doherty Ferry, Chesterfield, they have multiple locations. My mom, as you know, hurt herself, broke her femur back in January. Scary time for sure, folks, but you want to know that someone's going to treat your loved one as if it's their own mother or father, and they do just that. I mean, look at that connection they have. And as I mentioned, they're constantly getting them involved. The faculty truly cares. I mentioned the activity aspect. Look, they got best nursing homes for 2026. Garden View Cares for sure, by the way. As I mentioned, 3 locations. My mom was at the one in Chesterfield. There's also one in O'Fallon, Missouri, and then Doherty Ferry on Big Bend, that Valley Park area. GardenViewCares.com, and it says it in the name, guaranteed they carry that out for you. So for those that are wondering where can they find the show, just tell them the easiest thing is just to type in just like that, Monica Adams or The Real Monica Adams Show, and you'll find us on multiple platforms. Today you're finding us visiting with Katsura Sunshine, again, a comedian coming to town on June 22nd. I want you to be sure to get to see him if you can. So we've got a couple more clips that we'll play of the show, but here's some questions I've lined up for you. So what's the funniest misunderstanding that you've had because of cultural differences?
Oh my goodness. One of the is misunderstanding, but trying to learn the polite language in Japanese is crazy. There are so many levels of polite language depending on who you're talking about to and the social relationship. And at first, my language was not polite enough. My master, the first instruction he gave me when I started my apprenticeship was, Sunshine, don't talk. I think everything that came out of my mouth sounded rude to him. And then he gave me a book. And this is a dictionary of polite Japanese, basically Japanese polite language, of Japanese honorifics. And it lists up every Japanese word or phrase from the very most polite to the almost rude. And so he said, just start with thank you. So in English, expressions of gratitude, thank you very much, thank you so much. If it has thank you, you're not being rude to anyone.
Sure.
Right? But in Japanese, according to this dictionary, there are 47 different ways to say thank you.
Oh my God.
And the longer it gets, the more polite you are being. So when these get towards the top, they become really long and progressively harder to translate into English. Kore wa gotene ni domo, which means I must thank you for the great kindness you have done unto me. And kokoro no soko kara kansha shite orimasu, which means I must thank you from the very bottom of my beating heart. And
my beating heart.
I can never unburden myself of the debt of gratitude that I owe to you. And makoto ni arigataku kokoro yori atsuku nei omosha is too long. You can replace any of these with a thank you in English and you'll be fine. But the top one, Monica, you'll be very surprised. 47 different ways to express gratitude. The top one, the most polite, according to this dictionary, was this. Nanto kansha moshiagete yoi yara kotoba mo gozaimasen. In order for me to express the gratitude I feel towards you, there are no words.
There are, yet there are so many.
There's a lot of words.
But you know what? I've watched some of your comedy, and you talk about how so many things are shortened down. I think my favorite is, can you deliver the Brad Pitt one?
Well, that's the second part of this exact discussion, because when you go from the middle, arigato, the thank you, when you go down, these become shorter. Arigato, domo, sumimasen, suman, gomen, warui. Warui, first of all, means bad. It's listed under thank you, but it means bad. And I think this was shortened from a longer sentence. I feel badly that you took the trouble to do something kind for me. They love shortening things in Japan. Like personal computer is pasokon, very commonly used Japanese. Convenience store, kombini, getting famous here in the United States too with 7-Eleven and all those kinds of things, right?
Exactly.
Pocket Monster is Pokemon. Pokemon is actually a short name of the English. Pocket Monster. Sometimes they go too far. The Hollywood star, so the Hollywood star Brad Pitt, two-syllable name, Brad Pitt. Impossible to have a shorter name in English. In Japanese, they call him Brappy. Like, how badly do you want to shorten things?
Isn't that like that when you have celebrities that are getting together and then they're dating and they're engaged, whatever, when Brad and Angela, it was Brangelina, everybody just
Yeah.
yes, it's a similar
Yeah, it's a lot
thing.
like that. That originated in Japan.
I'm sure it did. It's like you go watch the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Everything has a tie back to Greek. But this, but that is the fun thing to find out when we learn different languages. Oh, okay, that one sounds familiar to what we say here. But what do you think is the hardest language to learn, and how difficult was it for you to learn this language?
Japanese was a big hurdle at first because I had studied in Canada. We study French in school. My parents are Slovenian, and Slovenian has a lot of similarities to Russian, so I studied Russian in school as well. All these languages, they're all European kind of, so there's like similarities of vocabulary, and the logic of the grammar is quite similar. So Japanese was the first language I ever studied that was just coming at it from zero. So I found that the hardest language to learn at first because of the way that the grammar is, memorizing the kanji characters, which are, I still can't really read, memorizing the polite language, was, as I was telling you, that there's a lot of challenges. Now, that being said, I'm a Westerner, right? I'm European roots Canadian. Chinese people pick up Japanese super quick. Now, Chinese and Japanese are not related at all linguistically, but the Japanese took the kanji writing system from Chinese. But I mean, they had no writing system way back when. They just superimposed Chinese characters on the Japanese language, which it'd be the same thing as us right now, not having an alphabet, meeting Chinese people and saying, hey, that's good, we can write now. Like it doesn't fit the language properly. So Japanese invented syllabaries, katakana and hiragana. You have two different syllabaries to help you kind of complete the language, so you know what these Chinese characters actually mean, because you can have different pronunciations and stuff. Anyway, so it's a crazy language in certain ways. So yeah, Japanese was a big challenge at first.
I can imagine. I mean, that's what I've always heard. And I would love, I've got a friend that, okay, I'm going to read that comment in just a second, Rose. I have a friend who does my nails, and she was just breaking down all of this for me. And she's like, Monica, I want you to come to Thailand with me. And then I've got someone else that said, I want you to go to Japan. Monica, have you ever been to China? I'm like, no, I would love to. I need to get to all of that. Okay, speaking of nails, Rose just said, and I was going to bring it up, Katsura, your nails look better than mine right now. I'm a little depressed. I like what you're doing. The world needs more laughter. Do you know any hockey players, of course, since he's from Canada?
Yeah, do I personally know hockey players?
Yes.
Well, that being said, everyone I know is a hockey player in some sense of the word.
Exactly.
I'm from Canada. Yeah. My brother's a hockey player. Now, any famous ones? No, I don't, unfortunately. But I love hockey. I'm obsessed with hockey, and it's the only sport I really follow. So it's funny being in America, because Canada hockey is like the number one
Absolutely.
popular sport, right?
Yep.
Whereas when you come to America, you've got football, baseball, basketball, and I don't know which order, but those are quite a bit above hockey. Like, I remember going to a sports bar in New York, a massive sports bar that had a ton of TVs, and there were 3 hockey games on. Among the other sports, there were 3 hockey games on, because New York has New York Rangers, New York Islanders, and New Jersey Devils.
Yes.
You had 3 great hockey games on, and everybody in the sports bar was ignoring that and watching baseball. It was like, oh my God, I'm not in Canada.
I'm not in Canada anymore.
Yeah.
I'd say, well, this is a big baseball town, always has been. The St. Louis
Right.
Cardinals, amazing. But our St. Louis Blues, I'm going to say it's right there. And for some people, hockey has gone above that. Fortunately, and they're so incredible. A lot of those players will retire, and then they'll stay here in St. Louis, because this is such a incredible sports town, and they feel like such family that they put roots here, which we love. Pam, good morning. Again, if you're just tuning in, we are visiting with Katsura Sunshine, comedian who's going to be at the Funny Bone. Tickets are available for you on June 22nd. We've got a couple more clips that we're going to play. We were just talking about celebrities, though. If you could teach this style, how do you pronounce it again? Rakugo or?
Rakugo, yeah, you got it.
Okay. If you could teach it to one celebrity and one celebrity only, who would it be?
Oh my goodness. Do you know Russell Peters?
Russell Peters. That's how, okay, as you say who, I'm going to look up a picture.
Yeah, look him up. He's a super famous Canadian comedian of Indian descent. And I've just loved him all my life. And he's great at imitating different people's accents. He starts by imitating his father with the Indian accent, but then he goes Hong Kong Chinese and different everything. And people come to his shows, people get insulted or disappointed if he didn't make fun of their culture. Everyone's waiting for them, like Turkish people where they're like, okay, when's the Turkish part coming up, right? And like Saudis will come out, it's like, oh, he's gonna talk about Saudis now, right? So he's just a super talent. I'd love to teach him Rakugo someday.
That's him. I just pulled it up for you really quick. Yes, he looks familiar to me. Okay,
Sure.
so that's the one celebrity he would pick. What's harder, though, making Japanese audiences laugh or American audiences laugh?
Oh my God. American audiences are the best audiences in the world for Rakugo, bar none, including Japan. I've been telling my Japanese friends back in Japan recently, Rakugo is wasted on the Japanese.
Really?
You Japanese, you should go to the United States of America and learn from Americans how to properly appreciate the Rakugo art form. American audiences are the best, bar none, from all around the world. It's amazing.
I love to hear that. Okay, Bab said thank you for this enriching interview. Terrific. You're welcome. Rose, Stephanie, and Julie ignore what he said about hockey. We'll still go see you. He likes hockey. No, he said he likes hockey. Mr. Bean, we love hockey. Yes, you're right. Hockey is huge, and my audience, by the way, absolutely loves hockey. Again, how about we play another clip so you guys can understand what you're going to see, and it's probably going to be very different from anything you've seen. If you have been to the Funny Bone, I'm sure it hasn't been anything like this. This is what I love. And, again, we talked about culture and getting out of your own way and taking an introduction to something that maybe you're not familiar with. So let's do this one.
Katsura Sunshine's Rakugo Summer Tour begins this week. Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Charlotte, Knoxville, Nashville, the spiritual home of Rakugo in the United States. Come for an hour of laughter and leave with a piece of Japan in your heart. Check out rakugo.lol.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say this. I love that you did your own voiceover.
Yeah. Always.
I was like looking through your Instagram. I'm like, oh, I love that. Okay, but here, folks, is what you can expect. And we talked a little bit about, the audiences, the hilarity, the all-out laughter, the culture, how he is, again, down with you, and what will you get when you come out of it. We'll ask Sunshine. I'm going to call him Sunshine, even though I lost my Sunshine. I've got him on screen now. I was like,
right here.
Yeah, you're right here. I want you to tell me when people first come and see you, what do they say? If they get an opportunity to interact with you, what did they expect going into it? So think about this as we play this. What did they expect going into it? And then what did they get coming out of it? Okay, we'll do that in just a sec.
But the most polite Japanese, I still don't understand how they got this one. 47 different ways to say thank you. 47 different ways to express gratitude. The top one, the most polite, is this. Nanto kansha moshiagete yo iara kotoba mo gozaimasen. In order for me to express the gratitude I feel towards you, there are no words. No words. I got 47 words right here. Then from the middle, when you go down towards less polite, maybe rude, these become shorter. Arigato, domo, shimasen, suman, gomen, warui. Warui! I look at warui actually means bad. I realized later that warui is a shortening of a longer sentence. You did something kind for me, so I feel badly that you took the trouble, something like that. So shorten it to bad. I think they shortened it too much here. I know in Japan you guys love to shorten things, right? Convenience store, kombini. Personal computer, pasokon. Oh, those are fine, I understand, huh? Brad Pitt, Hollywood star. First name, Brad, one syllable. Second name, Pitt, one syllable. Brad Pitt. First name, last name, two syllables. technically impossible to have a shorter name in English. Here you call him Brappy. How badly do you want to shorten things? And then, like for McDonald's, the restaurant, you have a choice of shortenings. In Tokyo, Maku, in Osaka, Makudo. But my favorite is the Japanese hamburger chain restaurant, First Kitchen, in Japanese, Fasuto Kitchen, commonly shortened to fucking. Very popular date spot, I heard. But I think this warui, I think it's too short. But there's one more below warui. 47 different ways to express gratitude. The lowest one, the least polite, the closest to rude. It was written at the bottom of the list in the katakana syllabary, which I told you are for loan words from other languages. Sankyu.
I think my favorite is, that's a favorite date spot. Fucking.
Yeah.
Folks, again, if you're just tuning in, we are visiting with Katsura Sunshine, comedian who will be here in St. Louis. He just kicked off the tour, by the way. So if you're just tuning in, you got to see a little bit, just a sneak peek. How long is the show, by the way?
The show runs about an hour and a half, and I travel with 2 or 3 apprentices who are apprenticing under me right now. They're training under me, and they also do short stories themselves, as well as playing the taiko drums and the shamisen. So all the music we have is live music as well, Japanese music, the music that accompanies it.
I love that. So I mentioned going into the break that I want you to let us know when people come, because again, they might be like, oh, I want to go see this. I love the fact that I just saw him on the show. I want to experience this. I don't really know what I'm going to experience going in. What do they tell you they think they're going to experience? And then what did they experience?
Yeah, so a lot of the audience members, because I do a meet and greet after every show as well, and sign and take pictures, a lot of people say they had no clue what they were getting into because they were dragged by a friend to come and see it. So they didn't see one video. They don't know, it's gonna be something Japanese done by a Canadian. Okay, whatever. But a lot of people come in with no expectations. It is labeled as comedy, so I guess people expect to laugh. But I think if you said, oh, it's a 400-year tradition of Japanese storytelling,
right,
people don't expect that it's going to be as accessible and engaging and as universal and as hilarious as it turns out to be. I shouldn't call myself hilarious. That's a dangerous thing for a comedian. But that's what people come out saying, I had no idea what to expect. It was so funny. I can't wait till the next one.
I love it. Again, and I mentioned before that we've got a couple of funny bones in town. He's going to be at the one in Westport, 7 p.m. on June 22nd. Okay, you ready? I'm going to do some rapid fire questions. Just quick answers to these. Okay, folks. And if you have any for him, by the way, drop them in for me. Have you ever completely forgotten part of a story on stage?
Yes, and worse than that. Oh, are these supposed to be really short answers? Yes. Yes. But worse than that.
Elaborate on that one.
I'm so sorry. A very typical Rakugo pattern is that something happens in the first half, and then the same thing happens, but someone less intelligent tries to do the same thing, and it goes all wrong. So the second half is where the comedy comes. Sometimes if it's a story I'm really used to, I'm thinking of like, where are we going for beers after the show? And suddenly I can't remember if I'm in the first half or the second half because the lines are very, very similar. That's happened. And that's happened to every storytelling master that I've met. They've said at one point, they were just so zoned out on a story they know so well. Like it's a problem knowing the story too well. You can forget where you are.
Absolutely. Oh, that happens to the best of all of us, right?
Yeah,
You're like,
I can
oh my
imagine.
God, where in the world was I? Okay,
Yeah.
what's the strangest place you've ever performed?
I performed at a baseball stadium for 50,000 people in Japan once because the sponsor of the team was also using me as a kind of like a brand ambassador. So I did 5 minutes in front of 50,000 people, and it felt like no one listened. I would say 1/10 of the people listened. But then I was walking around the baseball stadium and all these people coming up to me saying, "Hey, that was pretty funny."
Oh, see?
And I realized that 1/10 of 50,000 is still 5,000 people. So I was like, wow, okay.
How about if someone followed you around for a week? What would surprise us the most?
Yeah, I think they would be very surprised at how every audience at every single stop in very different like comedy clubs and very different environments, how each kind of audience reacts in its own way. And this is the thing, it's such a good question because people say, oh, our Japanese audience is better, our British audience is better, our American audience is better. And it's not, no, I compare like today's audience to yesterday's audience.
Yeah.
And I've been on Broadway now for 7 years, once a month, every month in New York in our theater and Broadway, New World Stages. And just, it's the same theater. It's the same, it's one Saturday a month. It's the same environment. And yet each time the audience is so different. Every audience's character is so unique. And so I think someone following a comedian, probably any comedian, so I don't think I'm too different than other comedians would say this, but really that's the beauty of live performance, I think. That you are witnessing something that has never happened before and will never happen again.
Well, right, and you feed off the audience, and those are the things.
100%.
So again, if you have any questions, I will get to your comments and questions here in just a second. But we're running through some fun ones that I put together. What's your favorite joke that works anywhere in the world?
Holy smokes, that's a tough one. My favorite joke. I'll give you do we have 1 minute?
Yep, yeah.
Because the clips you have been showing are from the first half of the show, which is a lot like stand-up comedy. So I would like to do a 1 minute version of a traditional Rakugo story, and this works everywhere in the world.
Go.
This is a wonderful 400-year-old story. Once upon a time, there was a little boy with a very long name. His name was Jugemu Goko no Surikire Kai Jari Suiyono. Sungyo matsu furai matsu kuneru tokoro ni sumu tokoro. Yabura koji paipo no shuringan no gurinai no pompoko pino, pompoko nano, chokyume no chosuke. It was a very long name. One day, his neighbor, a little boy named Kin-chan, a shorter name, came to pick him up for school. And Kin-chan said, Jugemu, goko no surikire kai jari fuyo no sungyo matsu furai matsu kuneru tokoro ni sumu tokoro. Yabura koji paipo no shuringan no gurinai no pompoko pino, pompoko nano, chokyume no chosuke kon. Let's go to school. And Jugemu's mother came out and said, Adama Kin-chan, you are so nice, so kind of you, but our Jugemu goko no surikire kai jari suyo no singyo matsu furai matsu kuneru tokoro ni sumu tokoro. Yabura koji paipo no shuringan no gurinai no pompoko pino, pompoko nano, chokyume no chosuke. Is sleeping. Wait here. I'll wake him up. Hey, Jugemu goko no surikire kai jari suyo no singyo matsu furai matsu kuneru tokoro. Yabura koji paipo shuringan no gurinai king kong kang kong. King Kong, 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 ma'am. His name was so long. School for today is already finished.
Okay, that was brilliant, by the way. You are extremely talented, folks. I would stand up. My cheeks hurt. I would stand up to give you, I would get out of the screen, but I would stand up to give you a standing ovation. That was amazing. I was like, holy cow, how many syllables are in that name?
Yeah, it took a long time to learn.
Well, that was my question. How long did that take you to learn?
It took about 6 months to learn. Now, the other thing is...
And that fast.
Yeah, you got to learn it fast. And the other thing is, though, like this name and this story became really popular on NHK, which is the national broadcaster in Japan. It's like NPR here, right? Or something like that. For children. So, like, all school children can recite this name really fast. Seriously? So, you got to really do it well, or kids are going to be like,
they're going to catch you. Hey, I know. He missed one. Let me ask this. If you weren't a comedian, what would you be?
I can't even imagine. I cannot even imagine. I'm sorry.
Right? It's hard, right? When we're walking in our purpose, it's like
Yeah.
nothing else. Drop the mic. There's nothing else there.
Nothing. I'd be nothing.
Have you ever laughed so hard during a performance that you couldn't continue?
Have I ever personally laughed so hard? Yeah. Sometimes audiences say things that are really, really off the wall, and they throw me. Not to say things, but like just react in a certain way, right? And the first clip you played was about me and talking to the ambassador.
Yeah.
And when you compliment a Japanese person, they have to deny the compliment, and then you have to reiterate the compliment and that kind of thing, right? No, 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 that kind of thing, right? Well, that was in New Delhi in India, where the ambassador of Japan had come to just greet me before the show in the dressing room, and so we were complimenting each other and all that. And I thought it was really funny. So when he came out, the ambassador and his wife and like 350 Indian people in the audience, guests of the embassy, people interested in Japanese culture. So I told that story right off the bat, and the Indian audiences were laughing, and the ambassador was also very happy because I used him as part of my material at the top of the show. And then I started the show the same way I always start the show, is I'm going to teach you about the props of Rakugo. I hold up a fan, and I say, this in Japanese is sensu. Everybody repeat after me, sensu. And the audience says sensu. And then I always say, very good pronunciation, especially Japanese people. That's a little bit of a joke, right? I did that the same way. Started the same way I start every show. I said sensu. The Indian audience said sensu. I said very good pronunciation. And 350 Indian people in the audience leaned forward and said, no, 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 no. At first, I had no idea what was going on. The audience is all talking at once. It's like, what? Oh, my goodness. Do not make the performer laugh.
No, exactly. Yeah, because you're so focused. Okay, so as we wrap up, who's your favorite American comedian?
Dave Chappelle.
Oh, brilliant.
Hands down.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
What's the most beautiful city you visited?
Most beautiful city. The most beautiful city is Ljubljana. Are you talking about America?
Nope, anywhere.
Ljubljana, Slovenia, which is where my parents were born. But it's just a gem of Europe. It's so, so beautiful.
Okay, how about Canada or Japan?
Japan.
Oh, wow, love this. All right, folks, okay. So
Hands
after
down.
introducing a 400-year-old Japanese tradition to audiences around the world, what has laughter taught you about people that transcends language, culture, geography?
What has laughter taught me?
Yes.
Well, Rakugo has taught me that it's possible to have things that are universally funny, and to have, because I think so much stand-up comedy is quite localized, right? Like, even as a Canadian, when I went to London, for instance, the British comedians are hilarious, but at least a third of the material I didn't quite get, because you have to be born and raised in the UK or that, and they get rid of that material when they go abroad, maybe that kind of thing. But here's a 400-year art form that's crossed the centuries. It's originally Japanese, completely different language, completely different culture to North American or European, and yet people are laughing perhaps harder at this art form than they are even in Japan. I just think it's a miracle of what is actually possible in kind of human interaction and communication. I just love it so much.
I love it. Okay, so the last question, because I love to know my audience, and they all know that I don't. I mean, look, you got great energy. So, caffeine or no caffeine?
Oh my God, I'm an addict.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee. He's a coffee drinker, folks. They
Black
all know
coffee, my friend,
I'm
yeah.
a tea drinker.
Are you?
All
Okay,
right.
yeah, that's fine.
Let's see.
We still get along.
A little Canadian accent, yes. Let's see. A little late getting on. Good morning to you. I noticed a lot of Asians in the audience. Is that the norm? That's a question from Rose.
That's a great question. That clip was taken in my favorite traditional Rakugo theater in Tokyo, and so a lot of people that came were Japanese English speaking, but Japanese was the majority of the audience then.
Yeah,
on tour in America, it's everyone.
That's what I would imagine. Yeah,
100%.
And we want it to be, right? You're right, Stephanie. It is. Laughter is absolutely the best medicine. Linda, thank you. I appreciate that. She said, great show. The good part about it, if you screwed up a little bit, none of us would know. She said, yes, I thought he threw in a little Italian in there at one point. Yeah, I thought there were definitely some foreign language in there, but wasn't sure what language it was. Katsura, you have an amazing smile. You can tell you love what you do. Well, that's the greatest thing to leave us with. I'm so glad that Jody was able to connect you and I, and I'm thrilled. I'm following you now on all the socials. Can't wait for your audience to wake up with us with positivity, because positivity and humor are some of the greatest things that we can pass along. You are fantastic. Again, June 22nd, folks, get your tickets. He will be at the Funny Bone, St. Louis, 7 p.m. at the one at Westport Plaza. Tickets are available. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you spending time with us this morning.
Yeah, Monica, thank you so much for having me on. This was wonderful. I could do this all day.
I know. I was going to say, if I had the time, I would spend hours and hours with you. We're thinking about possibly trying to get Katsura to be in studio with us. So you and I will talk to see if we can make that happen, if you can make it from Chicago to St. Louis before
Fantastic.
Your show. Okay?
Yeah, I can't wait to meet you in person. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And folks, again, I love to wrap up the show with a little faith, because I'm all about that triangle of life theory. And, our soul is filled with laughter. That really balances us as well. I want to thank all of you that have shared devotionals with us. I'm going to turn to, I can't believe we are like halfway through the year already. June 11th. What does it have in store for us today? Trust me and don't be afraid, for I am your strength and song. Do not let fear dissipate your energy. Instead, invest your energy in trusting me and singing my song. This is from Jesus Calling, by the way. The battle for control of your mind is fierce. Years of worry have made you vulnerable to the enemy. Therefore, you need to be vigilant in guarding your thoughts. Don't despise this weakness in yourself, since I'm using it to draw you closer. Your constant need for me creates an intimacy that is well worth all the effort. You're not alone in the struggle for your mind. My spirit living within you is ever ready to help you in this striving. Ask him to control your mind. He'll bless you with life and peace. Love that. And thank you, by the way, Marilyn, for passing this one along to us. By the way, you always are wondering, where are we going to be next? On the road, doing our mobile Monicas, which, by the way, if you're not familiar with those, we take the show on the road and we can go live from your business, your event, your festival, you name it. We've got some really fun ones coming up, by the way, and they are going to be in July. On July 14th, we are going to be right here at the Porch. I mentioned, you all know I love to shop. I have an addiction, I think. ThePorchWildwood.com, located at 16957 Manchester Road. I mean, come on. Look at this place. When you walk in the door, you're going to be greeted by some really incredible people. Jan Kaufman, an amazing interior designer, and then she can just create magic in your home, whether it is something she already has on the floor, or I love custom work. I do design for fashion. She does it for everything in your home. Jan Kaufman Interior Designs inside of the Porch in Wildwood. So we get to find out the backstory of how this all came about with Jan. She'll be our guest on June 30th in studio with me at 7 a.m. Then we're going to be there July 14th at noon, and I would love for you to come and shop with us. So that's one of the mobile Monicas. We also have a really cool business spotlight that we're going to do on Monica Spittler, and that's Coconut Grove Boutique in Washington, Missouri. Again, another dangerous spot for me. But I tell you what, it's not just women. Women and really awesome men's clothes, some cool furniture that she has there as well, and it all has that beautiful resort feel to it. Coconut Grove, wait till you hear her story. So Monica's going to join us in July doing a business spotlight, but boy, when we talk about having that ability to have a smile on your face when you've overcome, that woman should just be in a hole and depressed after everything she's gone through, but she has overcome, and then God put it on her plate to open up a boutique. She's like, I never saw this one happening, but he did, and she gives it all back to him, and I love that. So the Porch and Coconut Grove, just a couple of our business spotlights and our mobile Monicas coming up. All right, folks, tomorrow we're going to be cooking. What are we going to be cooking? It's a Food Day Friday, and I'm going to incorporate a little fitness and food together. Maybe we'll even pull out a little fashion. We'll give it all to you, the trifecta, on a Friday morning. Can't wait. And remember, take care of yourself. Check on the elderly. Check on those pets. It's really pretty right now. Little sticky out here, but we've got some really dangerous heat coming up and heat indices. One more day, and then we get a chance to enjoy a beautiful weekend. God bless you all. And remember, dream big. You can be whatever you want to be, but the greatest be is kind. God bless you, and be kind.
The Real Monica Adams Show is brought to you by Exist Stretch. Stop by for your free consultation and 30-minute introductory stretch today.